Brad Williams, Excel primed. We're going to mess around with text. And you know, Excel and text is sometimes a collision course. And I've gone over dealing with text. Here, does the cell contain numbers? Let's clarify. Numbers versus text versus text with numbers. That's important. Well, it depends on what we're trying to do. Does the cell contain numbers? I don't know if that's the right. That's a perfect heading. Now the question is, how do we find out? We have a COUNTIF. We have an if, COUNTIF. And then we have this ISNUMBER. Well, let's look here. COUNTIF counts cells that contain a number. Simple enough. Why are you making this more difficult than it is, Brad? Because you could be working on an idea. You've been working with ISNUMBER forever, and you keep running into this false, and you just can't figure out why. Let's dig a little deeper. How about we look here? We have just this random stuff. Doesn't mean a thing. This could be text. It could be numbers. I don't know. What we're doing is just running a test. The COUNTIF, you can count cells that contain a number. Find locates the position of text within a cell. Notice that locates the position of text within a cell. Here's where we have to remember the tools that are available. The find function works within a text environment, and the count was going to work within whatever find detects. The question is, are there numbers within this text? Count won't know, but find will. We're going to put a constant list in here. This is going to be hard-coded based on whatever we want. So we want 0 through 9. Well, any number within our infinite universe is going to have one of these 10 digits in it, period. If it doesn't, then it's something else. It's just not in this conversation. If you find something greater than 0, put your thumbs up. Saying, yeah, thank you. It's in 49. Look, when 49? Maybe it's not 49, but if there's a number where we might find it, F9, and it doesn't, we have to go here to find and hit value, F9. It's going to be at the 48th letter or the 48th position. Here I just put len just to get an idea of the length of the number of characters. Excluding that period, it's 48. Tool to use is find. There's one number in this string, and if we do this, if we put 43, we're going to get probably a different reading. Well, we better. So go here, find, and there should be F9. There you go. 50, 15, and 14. What are we talking about here? We have 51. We have 51 len, and here we have, in our position, is 50, 15, and 14. Got it? Which raises the next question. Why do they show up here as 50, 15, and 14? Think about that for a second. Think why I hit escape, and then go back, look here. What numbers do we have? 4, 3. So we're going to look here. We have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3. And then we look back in here, value, F9, 50, 15, and 14. How are those numbers derived? We know 2 is 50. So if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 4 is going to be position. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. If you count left to right, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And if we go in here, F9, what do we get? We get a true. No, we don't want that. We want this value, F9. We get 14. Okay, so the next question is, why are we seeing this layout 50, 15, 14? Because count is just putting these in descending order. Why? Because it says greater than 0. I don't know why it puts it in descending order, but it does. Do we need to go any further on this? I don't think so. If, count if, the same thing. All we're doing is we're putting an if and then instead of true or false, yes or no. Which raises the question, I want to use ISNUMBER because there's a number in there. And guess what? ISNUMBER, B5. ISNUMBER is false. Why? Do you understand what ISNUMBER does? The Excel ISNUMBER function is a built-in function that is used to determine whether a value is a numeric value or not. The function returns true if the value is a number. Text with a number is not a number, and false if it is not a number. The syntax of the ISNUMBER function is as follows. ISNUMBER and the value. The value argument can be a cell reference. In other words, we can point to this as we did. That's a cell reference, a formula, or a constant value. This right here is the constant value. If you want to check if the value in a particular cell is a numeric value, you can use this example. If the value in the cell is a number, the function will return true. Remember, if it is a number, not a text. Why are we running into a problem here? I'm not going to answer that. The answer is pretty obvious. We go down here. We're just looking for 8, and it's in our constant list, and it's true. This is a number. Even though we can call it text, we can say whatever we want here. We can say, hey, it's text. But Excel's looking at it as a number. Here, if it's a number, just put yes. So it did. And then if number, it's a number. But what happens as soon as we put A in here? It throws a false. The count still sees the 8s and it's gone true. It's not asking if it's a number. It's just asking, does the cell contain a number? Mechanics. Understanding how Excel interprets this stuff. Lastly, there's neither. We don't have a number internally within this text, and ISNUMBER saying, nope, not going to happen. In summary, ISNUMBER can only work when dealing with numbers. Otherwise, you know why you're going to use ISNUMBER. If you're going to combine it with something, and you may intentionally want a false. You may intentionally want a false for the obvious reason, to counter it with something else. You could put a not ISNUMBER, and that if this is false and you put a not with ISNUMBER, it turns it into a true. Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Thank you.